Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to some more Let's Play Lobotomy Corporation. In the last episode, we managed to get through day 14. And apparently, thanks to some sort of legal wrangling, we were able to complete the day without having anyone dead. Thus completing the safety team's task, even though many clerks died in the process. I guess the clerks don't count as people? Or were they really... they're so underappreciated that their deaths are just expected. And the safety team didn't care about them. The safety team doesn't classify them as people. So we unlocked our regenerators being able to heal more sanity for people. We learned a little bit more about those sextuplets that we took a few episodes ago, in so much that we at least understand what seems to work with them, literally what work they prefer. It's common for the ones that they get along with, and even then it requires at least rank 3 to be successful. Let's go ahead now and get to the deployment screen, and we can talk a little bit more about them as we look at their card and begin prepping for day 15. Which I had originally thought was going to be a very relaxing day of show us that you know how to handle what you've got. And that's not at all what this is going to be. We were choosing another abnormality to handle. And that abnormality had been the hatred one that we've seen before as well. With my infinite hatred, I give you this gift, is what it said. I'm thinking that might be repression work to start with, but well, I guess we'll find out when we go ahead and begin the process of managing it today. Alright, so, I'm a bit distracted because I'm doing tea things at the moment as well. Okay, so, we still have quite a bit of work to do with this abnormality, but we learned a few things about how the gameplay works. Destruction 42K verified some of it for me. This abnormality is a WoW type of abnormality, and I guess HEs and lower don't have this gameplay mechanic with them. But whenever you do work here with an abnormality of WoW or higher, every other time you do work with it, until a Qlipoth meltdown occurs, it receives a penalty to accomplishing that work successfully. That's a nice flag to know exists, because we can then utilize that to understand that we're dealing with a powerful abnormality and need to be careful when we're working with it. In any case, we've learned, as you can see, all the work required for this abnormality. But it's not very good unless you have at least rank 3 in Instinct, Insight, or Repression. We still need 20 boxes for basic information and escape information, and it's going to be the escape I think I'm interested in next. We kind of have a good idea of all this other information. It looks like it's a 20 or 24 PE box abnormality. It does sanity damage. It looks like the sanity damage is like 6 to 10 points of damage. So we got a good understanding of its basic info. I just need to know what its Qlipoth counter is over here for its escape information, and what statistics they have when they break out. How do we suppress them? We also got plus 3 work speed because we did all the abnormality work right, and we still need one more material guideline unlocked, which we absolutely want to do to get more of a work success chance. So that's priority number 1, still working with that abnormality. But today, we're probably going to try sending someone in to look at the tool today for a little bit. Probably for 30 seconds, I'm thinking. We'll send someone in there, which is the minimum amount of time required to begin understanding it. And I'll want to understand a little bit about this new abnormality as well. So that's our objectives today. I'm thinking we should hire another new person today and get them over in the control team to begin, well, work. Or the information team. I just realized we've got 3 people of rank 3 over there. So maybe we move one of them over to the training team today. Actually, that sounds like a good idea. I think we'll probably do that. So who do we want? So let me go ahead and cut this part really quick, because I like how all this background stuff came out. And then we'll come back and I will move someone. And I will also have done some EGO reassignment for weapons and equipment. 1 second, everyone. Alright, everyone. A lot of thinking, and then I did a lot of babbling, and no one cares about that. So I went ahead and moved the Engulfing Dream ranged weapon from Tillman to Bruno, because today, Tillman's going in to work with the sextuplets. Yep. Yep, you're doing it, Tillman. And to help you with that, we're going to go ahead and increase your temperance a little bit. It's only 2 LOB points to raise. What is it to raise this? Ooh, 4 to raise it to 5. No, we'll just raise your temperance up. Alright, that gives you a better chance of succeeding with the sextuplets today as you work with them. It should hopefully go well. You're wearing the same outfit that Bruno has, and you have slightly less prudence, but slightly more work success and speed. So maybe you'll be okay and won't lose your mind, and we'll be ready to deal with it if you do. I'm not going to move anyone from the information team. I'm actually happy with everyone staying here at this moment. I do think, though, that we should be spending more LOB points on improving our people, which is what Bruno recommended. In fact, I think I did that already with someone. I might have improved, I think, Tillman's Fortitude up to rank 3 from 2. Did I do that off screen? This is my 3rd time attempting to record this part. So the game at this point, if I go back to the main menu, it saves whenever I strengthen an employee. So it doesn't let me redo that. Give me a second. Yeah, so Tillman had 2 Fortitude, and I increased it to 3 off screen. So we've increased his hit points and his temperance today. Everyone in the information team, I'm kind of happy with the stats they have, except for Knight That Say Nay. Actually, no, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with everyone's stats here too. We should be fine at the moment, and all the information team can continue to work with these abnormalities. The trading team is also decent. I think one of us is going in here today to work with this abnormality for 30 seconds and look at that tool and see what happens to us. And it looks like a heart, so I'm assuming we need decent fortitude to work with it. So it's probably going to be me who walks in there. Actually, I could give myself more fortitude. But Spider Bud's a part of this. Well, Dia and probably Chris are working with Spider Bud. What's my EGO list for armor? Meh, we'll be okay. I hope. Alright, anyway, so, yeah, we're not going to hire anyone new. We are going to spend some more of these LB points. I think I agree with Robert Barron. We should hold on to probably, like, 4 points, but we want to spend most of these to help our people out and get them leveled up. The exception probably will be the control team here, which is slowly increasing their stats by working with all the easy abnormalities, which I want them working with anyway. So we won't be improving these folks, yet. And, yeah, that's it. We have the right amount of people, I think, to work with all the abnormalities that we have as well without really bottlenecking ourselves too much. So we should be okay. But we do still want to spend 5 more points on people. So let's see where we can do that. It's 6 points, by the way, to raise someone from rank 2 Justice to rank 3. That's really expensive. But maybe we should do that for 1 person. No, I think instead we just increase people's... I think we should focus on Chris and Diaz and Heisul's temperance, because we can't send them in to do work with temperance ever again. Or they... Oh, it tells me what their speed is? How about their success? Oh, nice! I never realized it could do that when I hovered over those numbers. And these are just flat numbers. Okay. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead then and strengthen Dia. And we're going to level her temperance. Yeah, we'll level it to rank 4. And I think we'll also... Chris, you could benefit from it more. Your temperance is lower. So let's go ahead and level your temperance as well. Okay, now these are 3 points left over in case something goes horrifically wrong. Hopefully we won't be retrying this day. And let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is go look at these abnormalities that we didn't really look at last time. So what is in here? We've got a heart, and there's something in that heart. Do we walk into this device to use it? Because that makes me nervous. That's what I have to do. Okay, so hold on. Let's talk a little bit more about the WoW abnormality we are managing these sextuplets here. Or sextuplets. So. Oh, we also get to look at the other... Oh my god, what the heck is that? What is that? What do we have? What is this nonsense? It's got Christmas lights around its neck in some areas. Its legs are chained. It looks like it's a skinned alive reindeer of some sort. I see it like with probably elf hands with claws on the sled and a gift in front of it. Santa's beard's on its face as well. That is absolutely horrifying. Someone's got to go in there today to take a look at it. Oh no! Alright, well, I think the first thing we're going to do is send in... actually, the first thing I need to do is get the control groups set up. So, as usual, I will do that off screen. So give me a few seconds, everyone. I'll be right back. Actually, here... Take a look at that again, really quick. That's... What the heck? We come a long way from Fairy Festival to this thing. Safety team, I'm so sorry. Alright, let's, I'll be right back, everyone. Alright, everyone. So that is now done. So we're going to go ahead and recall everyone back to their facilities. I'm mixing it up a little bit. I've added, Hysul to the Peacekeeper group, which normally consists of the weaker, the lower level and lower stat group, but I'm adding him to it to add a bit more beefiness to them, as the tank with his regret sledgehammer. Alright, then we're going to send the F2 group here, or Suppression Team 0, because we're going to send in, whatchamacallit, right away to do work here. Whatchamacallit is not a good name. Hold on. We're going to move you actually over here, everyone. It's not Bruno. It's not Jason. It's you, Tillman. Okay. So, Tillman's going to start work here, and it's going to be insight work. Well, we're doing insight well. Yeah, we'll send him in for insight work to start, and we'll see how well that is. Like, how many successes does he get? How much... because... After that, we'll send him in for instinct work and see, well, after this meltdown occurs. This way we don't have that minus 4% occurring here. I want to know, and I'm pretty sure that these commons are actually different depending upon the work type that we're doing and the level of that person's virtue for that work. Like, maybe Fortitude 3 with these guys. It says common, but maybe it's, like, slightly better than work 4 insight work is for common. There is a mod I could install to give me that information, so if you guys would not mind, let me know! By the way, I was talking about comments really briefly about how Bruno suggested I spend LOB points. If you haven't read Adorkable's comments in the comments section, I highly recommend it. He is putting together a journal for his character after each day of work, and it's hilarious. I love reading it. It's so... just wants to get through the day and not pay attention to all the horrible things that are happening. It's wonderful. Adorkable, I've loved reading every single one of them. Thank you very much. Alright. So, Tillman's going to go in here and do insight work to start, because we know there's a chance that he'll survive at least that encounter. And while he's doing that, one other person will do some other work to start. And we'll have Dia Or maybe it probably should be Chris. He's got less hit points. So Chris, you'll do some instinct work with Spider Bud because you have a high chance of succeeding at that. And well, actually, we'll do one more also. Where did I put you, Destruction? Are you? We can probably just do this. So, Destruction. What do you need to work on? Justice, actually. Actually, you need a little bit of work on Prudence and Temperance so that we can get that to rank 2. So we'll have you do insight work there. And that will be all we do to start. And let's watch what happens here. Okay, so Tillman's walked in. Everyone from the F2 Suppression Team 0 now moves into this elevator and waits. Because if he loses his mind, we're going to want to shoot him down. It's so weird to say it that way. Oh, Tillman! Tillman, this is looking pretty bad. This is not looking good for you. Yep, okay, so you're going to go nuts. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you're going to go nuts. There's no way you're going to get the amount of successes required to do this. Okay, so I think we leave everyone here and just try to beat him as quick as possible. Once he comes out of that room. Tell me there's no way you're getting like 5 successes in a row. Okay, he lost his mind. Oh, he's a little bit different. Get in there and suppress him. Suppress him. Suppress him. Alright, that wasn't nearly as bad. Right, you guys probably do not know, but I remember that in the tutorial, ooh, that was a bad work result with them. So who lost their mind, who lost their image here? This guy did. Which number was that? So that was a bad work result. Number 4, appearance changed. Okay, we did get 7 successes, which means that we can spend those here on Material Guidelines number 6. And warning, forceful reduction of Qwilpoloth counter can also change. F02. Okay, so that's interesting. So this is telling us that all of these will lower his Qwilpoloth counter, and the clowns can lower his Qwilpoloth counter. So we really need to make sure that if there's a purple thing or clowns around here, that we kill them as quick as possible. We do not want either of these probably freeing themselves. Okay. Well, you sir, the good news is that we got you back in fighting condition, Tillman, pretty much immediately. So I'm glad we were ready for it this time. So a heads up that people act differently depending upon what stat was the highest. So I think because Tillman's Prudence was the highest, he stood there panicking. And I think after so much time had elapsed, he would have killed himself if his sanity was the highest, if his Prudence was the highest stat, and he went insane. I think if Fortitude is the highest and you go insane, I think... Actually, where are you really quick, Bruno? I think, Bruno, it was Temperance. So... Oh, wait, well, no, it was none of these people. Who has the rank 3 over here? No one does. It was Heisel. So I think Heisel's Fortitude was the highest originally? No, it wasn't. Who... Wait, I'm confused. It was Bruno. Bruno was the first person we threw in there to try to understand these things. And I think Bruno's Temperance was the highest. And so because Temperance was the highest for him at the time, I think that's why he ran around the facility screaming. If your Fortitude is the highest, I think you begin running around... No, I think Temperance is the highest, you try to free abnormalities. If Fortitude is the highest, I guess you run. And if Justice is the highest, then you fight you begin killing people in the facility instead. Okay, so that's not so bad. We can probably actually have you go in there again, Tillman, next turn. Okay, so let's assign another person to do work. We'll send Adorkable. We'll send you to do insight work with Scorch Girl today. I know about burning your papers, but we still need more prudence with you. It's kind of low. So you're gonna go in there. And then we should do this. we should do this next. So, who wants to go in there? I guess we could put Heisel in there. He's got a lot of fortitude. He's got a lot of prudence. He's got a lot of other stats. So if nothing else, assuming it doesn't kill him instantly for having high stats, he's likely to be able to take all the damage that is dealt to him. Now, I don't know what work to do there. Why is that bag moving that way? That does not make me feel very comfortable. Alright, so... how are we doing this with you, Heisel? I'm thinking repression work for this one. Someone's gotta walk in there and do it. It's gonna be you, Heisel. Let's see how repression work works with this. We'll see if you can match hatred with your own justice stat. If we do lose Heisel, I'm gonna retry. He's too high level for us to lose him. But we'll at least try to get some work done. If we have to retry, I may as well try to understand more about these abnormalities anyway, because we get to keep the knowledge that we unlock. Speaking of which, let's go ahead... Oh, we did that already. We spent the 5 boxes. That's a 3% increased work chance for these guys. Okay, so as he's doing that, I will send one other person to do more work somewhere else. And I think... it'll be Jair that we try to get you up to Prudence level or Fortitude level 2. You're so close to either of those. Let's have you work with the fairies. Oh, how's Matchstick Girl going? Okay, we just started that. Please be advised that Scorch Girl's encyclopedia is incomplete, so anything undocumented could occur. And are you panicking? Pfft, it's nothing. You're used to getting burned, I guess, Adorkable. That's pretty amazing. When the rusty sleigh bells a-jingle, Christmas begins. Okay, it is a Christmas-themed abnormality. Let's see how well we... Give me at least one success. Okay. Okay. Good. That's good. Give me a second one. No, that's not... That's bad. That's bad. Oh, God! And it's doing sanity damage to you in Heisel. But you know what? We gave you a lot of... prudence, so you are likely to survive the encounter, even if the work is bad with this thing. It's not a wow, I think, because the PE boxes are lesser here, and it looks like this is probably a low chance of success based on what's occurring. Okay, you'll survive this, Heisel, assuming it doesn't kill you instantly. Okay, bad work result. But Heisel could take it, because he's got Prudence 5. Oh, wow, Heisel! And because we did repression work or something, look how red you're glowing now. Unless that was the gift it gave you. So... only 5 boxes. It's not enough to unlock any guidelines. So, we're 4 work speed chance. 1 second. What's... That's the wrong thing. What's this one? 5. Okay, so it's not a Zion. It's probably not a Teth. Is that right? Oh... 6 and 4. Okay, I thought maybe I could guess how difficult it would be, the level of difficulty of this abnormality based on the success over here. My guess is a Teth or an HE, based on what I see here. So, let's go ahead and... We know repression work doesn't work well with it, so let's unlock a different one. Let's go for insight work. Oh, wow! Okay. Insight work is good for ranks 2 or 3. So, Bruno, you have a good chance to work with this. Whoa! But if it doesn't work out for you... If it doesn't work out for you... You've got one of our ranged weapons. I think you'll be okay, though. Alright. Oh, and we didn't... Okay, we did not get a minus 4%. So it's a Teth or an HE type, this one. Okay. So... let's recall... Oh, it does sanity damage, though. I'm going to want our team here to deal with it. Oh, I don't know if I want Knight That Say Nay going in there. Well, he's got Prudence 3, so he'll just stand there and go insane and kill himself if it doesn't work out for him. So we will send him there to do insight work with this. And we'll hold Suppression Team 0 outside to deal with him if he loses his mind. It's a shame in a way that it was, well, I guess not really. Well, maybe is that right? Heisel would have survived, probably, this much physical damage to him. Well, no, Tim, he's down... Wait. Yeah, he's down 15 hit points. Why is he glowing red? Oh, because we sent him in to do repression work, and he's got the gift from the armor. So I'm guessing whenever anyone goes in for repression work of any sort, with any of the abnormalities, and they have that gift, it constantly is draining his hit points, but constantly improving his justice stat. So he's got rank 3 of that at the moment. We gotta be kind of careful with sending him in for any place else now. Actually, he should probably do instinct work. So, Heisel, we'll send you back in maybe to work with these guys with instinct next. Well, hold on. So here comes Like That Say Nay. Good luck, Like That Say Nay. Good luck. We believe in you. We believe in you. Just don't lose your head. Stick to the manual, and he immediately takes 3 sanity damage. No, it's bad. Okay. Team. Pressure team 0, move into this elevator. I want you close to this door, because we have to rush you out to save him. Good God, it's a high chance, and it's still not working out well for him. We're getting like a 50% success rate. He'll survive. It looks like he's surviving. But this is probably just going to be a normal work. Okay. You survived, Not That Say Nay. Yep, you go on back now. And we have a Green Dawn coming up again. So we have the robots again. Okay. Okay, so 10 boxes. I think we will unlock these. Let's see what attachment work is like. Common and instinct. Common or low. So it's got to be insight work we send people in here. Repression, I'm guessing, is similar to this, or it's all very low. Okay, well, someone else can probably risk that, who has a decent level of prudence, and who's, what did you have on you? 50. I mean, I am a little worried. I don't know what Quilploth counter is. It doesn't look like it can escape, though, but maybe it's whatever in this breaks out. Maybe we shouldn't do any more work with it until we... Yeah, let's not do any more work with it at the moment. We've had 2... Well, then again, what was your Temperance 2? Okay. So if we send someone in there with Temperance 3, like you, Tillman. Oh, but you have Prudence 4. So that's common, not high. I only have Temperance 2. So it's going to need to be Bruno who goes in there. Alright, well, let's try Bruno then. He's got Temperance 3. So Bruno, will send you in there for insight work. Good luck, sir. We believe in you! Oh no! Were you aware that Scorched Girl escaped from its confinement? I was not. Alright, Knight That Say Nay is going to try to suppress her. Who has the matchstick over their head? Who's got it over their head, right? Someone has it. Is it you? And I can't see it because your text is over you? Might that say nay? I can't tell. Windwater, let's move. If I die, I'll just be replaced by someone else. I can't tell who has the buff because some people are speaking. Adorkable does not have it. So Adorkable, you're running out there to handle her. And Windwater, I'm going to move you away a bit. Oh god, not that say nay. You're well, it doesn't matter. She's not attacking you at all. At the very least, working here is better than dying out in the back streets. Alright, Hysul, you also do not have the debuff on you. Who is it? Like, can it be a clerk? Well, this is good because first off, I wanted to know. Well, I guess we can try to practice this. Maybe we can repress 4 different abnormalities if whatever this other one is escapes. I guess we'll be finding out that. I don't see the matchstick on anyone. Who has it? Dia, we're going to move you down here as well to help suppress her. I can't believe people can die so easily, says Hame. Alright, I don't see anyone that has the matchstick flame above their head at the moment. And Bruno's doing a decent job so far with that abnormality. Well, I guess we'll just watch Matchstick Girl. I'm hoping that when we suppress her... that she doesn't blow up! Okay, okay. She's really easy to deal with. That's really good to know. Yeah, she's really, really easy to deal with. All we have to do is figure out who she's after and make sure that we eliminate her before that person is reached. Can it be a clerk, I wonder? Alright, well, Adorkable, I know how much you like this. We're gonna send you back up to 1 in 100 with D, so just do a little bit of repression work and get you Justice 2. And Jair, you'll come down here to do some instinct work. And that will be all we'll do at the moment, and we'll just watch F249 and the amount of increases we get to the Qlipploth counter. Okay, it's a good result for at least, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 boxes. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. It's probably an HE, is my guess. And we can probably recall people now at this point. So let's get everyone back to their departments. And then we'll work with the sextuplets again, which means that I actually want F2 to come back over here when I'm ready for that. And so that will be... Tillman, you didn't work out so well when we sent you in there last time for Instinct. And I kind of want more boxes with them. So I think we will throw Hysul in there for Instinct work this time. And F2 moves over here to deal with you in case you lose your mind, which I'm not expecting, because you have so much sanity, Hysul, and you're wearing something... The armor endures you to the damage a tiny bit. Oh, we have 13 boxes over here. Let's spend some of these boxes. So let's go ahead and get the +4 work speed. Very low for repression. I chose the really wrong one to start work with on him. Okay. Okay, well, that's good to know. We're not going to spend boxes on the guidelines. I want to save up to get the escape information next. Okay, so Hyssal, in you go for instinct work this time. I was about to accidentally choose attachment. Not accidentally, I was going to choose attachment, and that's a giant mistake. First off, it's very low with him, and next off, he'll die instantly if we do that. So, in you go. What's all the blood around here, Oh, that all comes from Scorch Girl. All of it. We didn't lose anyone to Scorch Girl. Knight that say nay, as long as you are kind of hanging out here. We'll send you in here for some instinct work. I think I have 2 people going for work at the moment. I thought I set you up here to do... Oh, you're done with that, Adorkable. You're done with some instinct on one sins. We should probably do it again with you. Or the fairies that we liked having you beat up for a bit. Actually, with your Temperance 3, you technically could... Well, no. With Prudence 2, I'm not comfortable sending you into work with this. That's too risky of you losing your mind. And you'll run around and damage or try to free the abnormalities. I don't want you to... Actually, I think Justice is to free the abnormalities. Fortitude is to kill people. Temperance is run around screaming. I think that's the way that works. We'll hold off sending you in to do something else at the moment. Destruction. You'll beat up... sorry, Hame. You'll beat up some fairies for us. That's 3... I think that's acceptable. Actually, you know what? We'll cancel that at the moment, and I'll just be careful. Way too many times early on did we end up losing people because I wasn't watching that counter correctly. Not losing people, but I accidentally would start the ordeal because I wasn't paying attention to that number. Yeah, Prudence 5 on Hyssal is going to be tough to beat, because that's the highest we can earn, 100 sanity. Working with F270, he's not going to go insane again, I don't think. Interesting, Instinct seems to be a higher... Oh, what the heck happened? 1 second. Sorry, I had to cut it because the game minimized. This is going to be a normal, normal success. So, 3 lost his legs, and Hyssal lost half his sanity. It looks like Instinct might be the best thing to send people in here to work with. Hyssal will send you down there. F2 group, move over here. Did we get the boxes we need to unlock? No, we still did not get 20, which we need for escape information or basic information. Okay, so, you know what, everyone? We're not going to do this yet again. We're going to skip this, because so far the day's going well. And I don't want to lose someone to that tool. Not yet. Maybe tomorrow we'll do it. Alright, so we know that... what do we know? Bruno can handle this work. Oh... maybe he can. $45, 52, Temperance 3, Temperance 3. You actually have 59 sanity. You can handle it, Bruno. I'm a little nervous, because if you lose your mind, you got one of our ranged weapons. But we'll do this with you. Alright, team. Over here you go. And we need to wait until he's out of that before we do anything else when it comes to work, because we're going to get the ordeal. So I need to get everyone into positions to deal with robots. his sanity is the highest. So he's going to kill himself in a few seconds if he doesn't, if we can't get his sanity restored. Let's move everyone into this room. Okay, this was a real success for you, Bruno. Well done. Nice. Excellent work. Okay. Everyone goes back to their rooms to fully heal. And we are not even at half our PE box capacity yet, because we need 230 today. We got 23 over here. What's its escape information? 2 for its Qlipoth counter. Beating it up physically is what we want to do. We lose 4 hit points and gain 8 sanity with its EGO gift. A Christmas hat, some horns, apparently. We have 7 PE boxes left. Do we see its Qlipoth counter? We do not see its Qlipoth counter. So we're going to want to do more... I think we just want more normal work done so we can get that Qlipoth counter. I want to see what it currently is. My guess is one of these is you die automatically. Another one, these other ones might tell me about why its Qlipoth counter would go down. Maybe the Qlipoth counter only goes down when you do good work with it. That would be pretty funny if that was the case. Alright, let's get ready for the robots. So... one of our teams moves, Peacekeepers moves there. Aftermath will move here. Suppression Team 0 moves outside Scorched Girl. And I'm thinking everyone's sanity has been restored fully. Destruction's going to be the one who sets off the Qlipoth meltdown. Sorry, a meltdown is what happens, right? When we have this ordeal. And the alarms are what happens when we don't have an ordeal. I think that's the way it works. Alright, so, let's make sure everyone at first is in. Yep, we have 4 people there. 4 people there. Alright, in you go, Destruction, for some attachment work. Okay, where are they? Okay, so... Suppression Team 0, we move you up... Oh! We move you down here to deal with that one. One's in the elevator, so... we'll move you down in that direction. And Peacekeepers, you move over here to deal with this one. Try to save the clerks if we can. Oh god, please get there and save those clerks for the information team. We're gonna... Nope. Oh my god, we just lost so many of them. Okay, I also probably should watch what's happening. Dia's taking some damage, but everyone else is fine. Everyone else is fine, so far. There goes a bunch of our sanities. It stabs that guy to death. What's happening here? Okay, good. You guys defeated this one as well. Heisel's the only one who's heavily damaged, but we've got what it takes with your group to deal with this one. And you guys can help out. And we should kill that without any other issues. And you guys can just have your sanity healed. Okay, we need to watch Heisel's life here. Excellent work, team. The easiest ordeal has been dealt with. Angela showed up to say something. I don't know what she said. Everyone returns to their places of work, and we keep going. Once everyone's life and sanity has been restored, we need another 109 PE boxes. I want to kind of focus on these two today to get more information from them. I definitely want this escape well, I want to know what Qwilploth counter is, so basic information is probably more important to me. And this one, I want that basic information. I want to know what's current Qwilploth counter is. Okay, so Bruno, you've had a lot of success with this. I'm going to make the assumption that you will handle this perfectly fine and send you in there for more insight work. And Hysul. The I one got burnt out because 5 employees lost their minds. I think that was number 1. Why does number 1 lose his eyes? Well, 5 more employees die within the facility. Okay. So Hysul, you go... it kind of works out, actually, that instinct work might work well with them because you need more fortitude on you. While you're doing that, someone can do over here... Dia, you can do some insight work with crumbling armor. And Chris, you can do some instinct work with Spider Bud. And I'm not too worried right now about the Qwilploth alarms going off. Jason, you can do... Oh, hold on. What's your fortitude? 3. You should be doing the attachment work. Windwater, it's going to be... Actually, hold on. No, Jason. No, we're not going to have you do that. It's going to be Windwater. He needs more temperance. So attachment down here. Like that say nay, you need some instinct. And Adorkable, well, you know what we're sending you in here for? Some insight with Scorched Girl. Gave you Prudence 3. And that's like, wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 containment units. We're probably hitting the alarm instantly here, which is a mistake for us to do. That's a mistake. I should not do that. We're going to, hold on, we're going to cancel the information team's work at the moment. Sorry, guys. I need to wait until, like, this finishes so that we get rid of that, that's called the Qwilploth Meltdown or something. The minus 4% that shows up here. I want that gone. Okay. We can send 2 other people into work before we have the meltdown occur. So, Adorkable, you will do more insight work. And Knight That Say Nay, you will do some more instinct work. And anyone on F2, get over here. Who I haven't assigned. Just in case we somehow lose one of these 2 people. I don't think that's going to happen. I think I finally understood these 2. This was going to be tough, but we can level our prudence on him at the risk of people going insane. Good job, Adorkable. You're working well with Scorched Girl. How are we looking over here with these? Nice. Acceptable results on those 2 as well. Okay. What on earth is your Qwilploth counter? Oh, Dream of Black Swan! That's what this thing is called. Right? What was the text? What do 6 swans dream of a black swan or something like that? I forget what it was called. This is an interesting picture. None of the guys are blue. Oh, here's its armor. Let's look at it really quick. Oh, weak against pale damage. It's better than 2.0. vulnerable, so it's decent, at the risk of you taking extra white damage. I don't know if I like the slime look of it, though. But there it is. 50 PE boxes to make it as well. Holy crap. And a headdress you get from it with a 3% chance after work is done. And Heisel lost over half his sanity doing that work. Okay. And Bruno did well with FO249 also. Good. And we have the boxes we need for that basic information. Rodolta of the Sleigh. It is an HE. It's an HE. Okay. So it can escape. Well, it has a Qupaloth counter. That tells us that too. It's still at 2 Qupaloth counter. Interesting. Okay, so we didn't lower it at all. We still have some more PE boxes. When the work result was normal, the Qupaloth counter lowered with a normal probability. Oh, okay. So it works like the Scorched Girl. So there's a chance it lowers, but it's not always 100%. Okay, that's good to know. So let's send someone in to look at one of these creatures to start the meltdown, the alarm process. So Chris, we'll have you do more instinct work here. And I guess I'm probably not going to be needed over here any longer. I'll head down to do some work with Void Dream before I head back to my department. Okay, we've got some... Okay, we've got another... We have another Red Noon. This is the third time we're seeing this. I think we should stick around and see what it is. It's our first noon abnormality, though, everyone. So I'm a little nervous. Well, sorry, it's our second noon abnormality. So I'm thinking we move people into elevators again, just like we have been doing, and we take a look and see what it is that spawns. If it looks horrible, we can just probably try to run. But I think we'll take a look at it. Now it's clowns, so I'm a little nervous that they run around in free abnormalities. I guess we could arguably not do it. We could still just delay doing the noon abnormalities at this point. Okay, well at the very least we need to do these or we lose PE boxes. So Hame, you'll do some more justice work with the fairies. And Destruction, you'll do more insight work with the can of well cheers. And Jair, you'll do more insight work with One Sins to start. I wouldn't mind having Heisel go back in to work with Dreams of a Black Swan one more time to get its escape information there. Ooh! Its Qupaloth counter is down to 2. And only 3 of the children are shape changed. So not every single one of them needs to have shape change in order for it to break free. Oh! Forsaken Murderer needs someone to work with them. Night That Say Nay, you're in there. We don't want to lose PE box. Oh, craps! Oh, no! Someone's got to walk in here. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to lose PE boxes instead. I don't want to know what this does today. Things are working out well for us so far. I'm going to let us lose PE boxes. We'll just make up those PE boxes by doing more work. In fact, we could leave right now with work to complete, but I want to get a little closer to the noon, and then we'll just leave after that. Let's see how many PE boxes we lose from this, by the way. 15. Acceptable. We'll get those back by working with these again. And I think we'll do exactly that. So, Bruno, you'll work with the sleigh one more time. And Heisel could work with the Dreams of a Black Swan again. And I'm going to convince myself I'm not really worried about them. And I finished my work with Void Dream? Did I? I did not. Maybe I did. No, I didn't. There's no PE boxes here since the alarm. Actually, maybe I did work successfully with them 100%. I don't know. But I'm gonna hang out here too. Bruno, where are you? Bruno, get in there! We need you to continue doing this in sight with you. We need those Majaro, those guidelines for the sleigh. Yeah, it looks like instinct work is better than insight work for Dream of Black Swan. Heisel's got a lower instinct than prudence, but is succeeding more often. It might also be because of the extra 3% work chance. Yeah, everyone's gonna be fine. I'll come down here and do some work with Void Dream then. Again. Yeah, looks like I might got 100% with him. And I can send one other person in to do some more work. So, Adorkable, more prudence for you. I want you to have prudence 3. Alright, well done, guys. Maybe we should deal with the noon ordeal. And let all the abnormalities run wild? Just so we can complete this work? Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. Black Swan! Escape information. Unescaping entity! Interesting. So we don't have to worry about it getting out. But it has a Qwilpoloth counter. No. No, I don't trust this. You have a Qwilpoloth counter. Spider-Bud does not have a Qwilpoloth counter. Neither does Crumbling Armor. Neither does any of the other unescaping entities I've got. But you are an unescaping entity and you have a Qwilpoloth counter? I don't believe you. No. No, I don't believe you. Something happens when your Qwilpoloth counter reaches 0. I refuse to believe you don't get out. There's too many gotchas here with all these Majiro guidelines. I don't trust this. This is very similar to this. I don't believe you. Oh, but, well, as long as I'm distracted, here's its weapon. It's an umbrella. 60 PE boxes to make it. Does black damage, though, so sanity and physical damage. Fast, short range. Alright. And what's this one's equipment? And Christmas is the name of it. It's like a Christmas wrapping. There's something on the other side, probably all flesh inside of it, with Christmas lights wrapping around it. Does white damage. We're gonna want this weapon. Absolutely. 35 PE boxes to get it. And the armor is, oh, decently endured against white, actually. Although it looks like it's, so I've got, I have Christmas Hawaii shirts, and this looks like one of them, actually, honestly. It's pink with a bunch of like Santa Clauses driving convertibles with islands and palm trees in the background, scared about it. And it looks pretty much exactly like this, only I don't have pants to go with it. Let's get this unlocked. When the work result was bad, the cupola counter lowered with a high probability. When the Rodula of Slay escaped, it slowly moved throughout the facility, inflicting white damage to employees near it. So it works just like Bruno, when Bruno had run screaming through the facility. And we need a physical group there to take it out. Okay. Interesting. I'm going to need to revisit my idea of suppression groups, because I can tell I'm going to want certain employees with certain resistances to square off against, with certain weapons to square off against different abnormalities. We are going to want sanity armor to deal with this guy. How much damage does he do? Can we see? Oh, no, that's work damage. We don't get to see how much damage he does when he escapes. Okay. Well, we can send one other person in to do work today. And I guess we won't trigger the noon abnormality today. So, who wants to be that person? I think it'll be Knight That Say Nay. And we'll have you once again work with Forsaken Murderer, sir. So it also sounds like this isn't too bad to deal with. So maybe tomorrow, especially if I don't have to unlock another abnormality, we'll try this. We'll let Scorched Girl, Forsaken Murderer, and Void Dream get out. And then we'll see how well we can handle the Rotunda of Slay. We'll throw everyone we've got at it immediately and try to just win instantly if we can. I think that'll be the plan. Everyone with physical weapons will be there. If with sanity weapons hangs around to deal with it if it escapes. That'll be the plan. Alright, well, we're done with this day. I really do want to see what the Red Noon is, but on that same note, the workday was really successful. And so, we didn't lose any people. We did lose almost all the clerks in the information team drive because the robots just slaughtered them. There's nothing I can do to save them, unfortunately. But all the other teams they kind of held their own. For the most part. Alright, so we are done. So, oh, well, first off, let's also make sure, do I have any armor, what have you, I can manufacture now? We can finally make the armor Life for a Daredevil. So we'll go ahead and manufacture that. Spider Butt, I think yep, we can only make, oh, wait, hold on. There we go. We can make some more EGO weapons for them. I completely forgot about that. No one's died, so we're probably not going to have a whole lot of other weapons or armor we can make from any of these people. We don't have nearly enough to make anything over here. 35 for the weapon, 40 for the armor. We definitely want that weapon. Alright, so that is everything, everyone. Let's go ahead and finish this workday. 15 points today. Wow. And 3 people promoted. Holy crap. That will really let me out. I can hire someone new. And we can absolutely begin increasing a few people's stats. Justice as well. That's wonderful. Chris Bataille reached level 4 today. Haisul reached level 5, increasing his fortitude from 3 to 5. Bruno reached level 4. Congratulations as well. And other people increased some of their stats, but no other base level increases. Where does one go when they die? T0168. 005102. Now you become the sky, and I the land. 00262. In scale, it would never neglect the weight of even the smallest sin. So we have to choose another abnormality today. It's gonna be one of these two. I don't know which one to pick, so we'll stick with the standard stuff I've been doing. Oh, my tea! My tea's cold. I forgot all about my tea. All right, let's just get some dice, and we'll let the dice decide, because I can't. All right. I've got a crystal clear blue die, which means like I can see through it, and I've got a opaque. Is that the right word? Blue dice. The one blue dice looks like it has clouds in it, so we'll let this blue dice, which you guys can't see, one of them, the one with those clouds are on it, will be this one, and the other one will be this one. So let's see which one rolls higher. So the cloud dice gets a 14, and the other dice gets a 9. So Sky wins. It's time to talk about the second truth. How much do you know about the company? We still don't know much about the company, B. I thought you asked me this already. I have met many a manager in my time. I have seen how the company exploited them. Did they tell you that you're special? I don't know if they did. I don't think they did. Angela told us, staring right at us, that she refused to let us die. But I don't think that makes us special. Pulling the wool over your eyes, filling your ears with lies, saying that you're remarkable and resourceful, and that is why you were hired. I don't think anyone said anything like that to me. I don't remember that if they have. I don't feel like anyone said that to me. Don't trust a company. Good advice no matter what company you're working for. It's a company that everyone desperately wants to work for. I suppose the same kind of desperation led you here. But harvesting energy is only half of the business of this place. Oh? Of course, every wing is more than they appear to be. What do you mean, wing? You mean like the different departments? Oh, my tea's cold. However, this company runs much deeper than one might expect. There was a time when everyone worked hard for the same goal. But we lost integrity along the way, and things went downhill from there. What the company gives you is definitely not a gift. You're not hired because you're a remarkable person. Hey, Netzok. I get the impression we're like a brain in a jar. I don't even know if we're like a physically moving person. Maybe this Lobotomy Corporation logo is a little more, Oh, what's this? Hold on. What's this? Log Sephiroth? If I click on this, what does this do? It shows what missions we currently have. And apparently, I guess it's going to show what Netzok's going to give us for our next mission. Sorry, I didn't realize we could go up there and look at this like that. Okay. So Netzok's here. He looks as bored as ever. When I shut my eyes, I feel like I'm in another place altogether. I see a different world. One I had belonged to. I think I remember doing something there, hoping to save someone else's life. But here I am now. What's the point of saving an employee's life if you're just gonna watch them die at the very next day? What the heck? That's an awful way to look at things, Netzok. We all die sooner or later. Doesn't mean you just give up and say, what's the point? I'm gonna die if I don't die today, I'm gonna die tomorrow. No, that's wrong. You do something with your life. What the heck? What's the point of delaying the inevitable? Wow. Man. You need to watch this one Christmas movie I remember watching when I was a kid. What was it called now? Where the guy, it's like his life, he never existed, and the world around him is completely changed. There's lots of small things even one person can do in their life to make the lives of other people around them wonderful. And you get the opportunity to help other people as well along the way, or random acts of kindness even can be appreciated and spiral into other acts of kindness that those people show other people. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do. It may seem minuscule, but it's really, some of it can be really important. Those who work here have no future. None of those little things called plans and dreams. I mean, the clerks certainly don't. we can't control the clerks. The clerks are really stupid. They don't run away from the machine abnormalities. They just charge into them wielding their pistols or what have you. They're dumb. We can't save their lives. We try to save their lives, but we can't. Look, Netzok, don't worry about the clerks, okay? Don't worry about the clerks. We'll try to save them as much as we can. No self-reflections. No hopes to become a better person tomorrow. Oh, that's a luxury they can't afford. Why must I wake up and endure yet another day? Why do I have to bear the pain and get through it all, knowing tomorrow's gonna be just as dreadful? Wow! Netzok, what the heck? You're really depressed. No wonder why you need those drugs. We're just lemmings running straight for the edge of the cliff. Speaking of, could we get a vending machine for beer? If we're gonna die, we might as well get wasted before we drop dead. Yeah, I was just saying this, Netzok. I was just saying this. You know, I can't do something like that, Netzok. Don't get out of line, Netzok. Consider this a friendly warning. You know what's coming if you utter such useless nonsense one more time. Oh, I'd sure love to see you make it happen to me, ma'am. Yeah, just keep ignoring me all you want. How typical. What's more important than keeping the employees alive is making sure they're sane. If you aren't careful, their minds might suffer permanent damage for the rest of their lives. You'll see that keeping up sanity is much harder than keeping them alive. That's true. Well, no. The opposite is true. They're linked together for the clerks. Actually, that is actually true when one of our agents goes insane, because I don't want to kill the agent, I want to save their life. Goal, end the day without a single employee going into panic. Assuming they mean agent, this is quite possible. So, let's get the training team worked on more. Or, well, I'm guessing the way the free day works is when it's the final day spent in a team, we get the day where we don't have to worry about another abnormality, is my guess. But I have started the split process here. No, we'll put this in the training team. Want to expand the training department and get going with management? I'm sure it'll be useful, manager. Tomorrow maybe we'll go for the safety team. Depends on how this day goes. And we have lots of reading to do, everyone. Memory repository reached. Okay, nice. So we'll get to be restored to this day with 18 LOB points, I guess, if things go bad for us for the next 5 days. Good. Good. I think I think I'm working out how things are put together in the game, and I'm working around some of the abnormalities that, like this gift. I thought this was horrible at first, the debuff to our life, but I'm finding a way to work around it so far. I think it's gonna. I shouldn't jinx it. Let's not say anything else. Alright, so let's go ahead and read about the abnormalities we unlocked, and we'll read about the Ichio armor we got, and then we'll call the session, everyone. So, Dreams of a Black Swan. One day, should we read? We'll reread it from the start because we got almost nothing. We found out almost nothing about it earlier. Elijah had a large family to provide for. Her impoverished parents would always say, "Although we don't have anything to pass on to you, we have the most valuable treasure, honesty and diligence. These may not be of great help to you now, but they will make all of you happy someday." One day, a dense fog covered the city. The hazy fog, thought to be a natural phenomenon at first, didn't dissipate even when a few days had passed. Some claimed it was making them feel nauseous or making them retch, but most people thought nothing of it. A lot of people continued to work and go about their days in the fog. Of course, Elijah was one of the people who had to be okay with it. She was the only family member with a proper job, and the inheritance of poverty had left them in huge debt. Elijah had several brothers, but their wills were broken after being faced with several failures. Uh-oh. Are these the brothers? Elijah was always tired, but she thought if she just worked a little harder, things would work themselves out. Just like what her parents used to say to her. And just like in fairy tales. Just like that bird who eventually spread its white wings and became the envy of all. Some people left the city to escape the fog. They said the city was done for. Elijah didn't listen. Elijah felt queasy at times. She felt her whole body blistering. Almost there. Just a little more. If she held out just a little longer, the clothes made of needles would be complete. And if she threw them to her brothers she once loved dearly, then the days when her family lived harmoniously could be restored. Oh, sorry, not needles, nettles. Sorry. I was like, what on earth? Alright. One day, on the way home after work, she bumped into a pedestrian running at full speed. Though the pedestrian who crashed into her was at full sprint, he was unable to get back up. She offered him a helping hand, asking if he was alright. He slapped her hand away and got up on his own. The pedestrian took a few faltering steps before collapsing again. The man seemed like he was running away from something. He seemed worried that Elijah would hurt him. Elijah tried to ask him what was wrong. However, the pedestrian opened his mouth first. The simple act of opening his mouth seemed labored, so she patiently waited for him to talk. The pedestrian didn't open his mouth to speak. He began to vomit a mixture of blood and waste. Oh, wow! So what we're seeing happen with the brothers when they shape change is the result of them living in the city and the toxic waste, or I guess gas, the fog, what it did to them all. The gooey mixture poured from his mouth at first, then it gushed out from his nose, ears, and eyes. If he hadn't been expelling it from all his orifices, then Elijah might have tried to help him. Elijah thought that she heard a shout in the distance. She left the vomiting man behind and started to walk away. What happens when the black swan wakes up from dreaming of a white swan? There were many people amidst the fog. Some screaming, some laughing, some wielding clubs, some curled up, bodies covered in wounds. Dark, wet, and fetid dregs were scattered all over the ground, covered in footprints. She began to look for her brothers, her family who needed to wear the nettle clothing to be free from the curse, ones whom she shared happy dreams with. She saw her dear brothers in the distance. Elijah fell to her knees and finally started to puke up the thing everyone else was vomiting. The lake ripples gently, as if a number of swans just took flight. God, that's horrible. Poor girl. I don't understand how that relates to the guys here, though. They're the ones suffering. I don't trust it. I don't trust that this is an unescaping entity. I really don't. When the Qliphotep counter reaches 0 on Scorch Girl, when it reaches 0 on Forsaken Murderer, and when it reaches 0 on Void Dream, they get out. This is a lie. These guys, they totally leave. They totally leave. That we've seen that this is not necessarily accurate. Right? There's no EGO gift associated with this armor, but there's totally an EGO gift associated with that armor. It's a blessing. It's a worded way to get around this lie. And I suspect it works the same way for these. There's something bad happens when it reaches 0. And maybe they don't escape, maybe they all start singing or something, and reducing or everyone in the department gets sick and begins losing life or something like that. Or maybe everyone who's currently in the department just dies from vomiting, just like they did. But I'm positive when this reaches 0, it's awful. So we don't want that reaching 0 ever. It's not like the Zions, where I don't have to worry about the fairies at all. Or Spider Bud, or the armor. Because there's no Qliphotep counter. They never get out. Or there's nothing bad that happens for work going bad with them. Generally. Alright. Let's look at this one. An old card attached to the abnormality. Merry Christmas! Santa rushes along the night sky to deliver presents to happy kids who don't cry. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer shines his nose so bright through the fog while tugging along a sleigh full of presents, guiding it along tonight. Every happy kid around the world deserves a present. From afar, the abnormality resembles Santa Claus atop his sleigh. I can't see the picture, but that's not true at all. If you mean from afar, you must mean like a speck on the horizon. Because there's no way that looks like Santa whatsoever. But upon closer inspection, it's completely different from its description in common folklore. Contrary to the titular character Rudolph, the sleigh drags a reindeer along. We observe the 3 different portions of the abnormalities separately. Rudolph, an organic entity in colors of green, red, and white that appears to be a horse or a deer. Its muscles do not seem to move, but many of our staff report movement in the eyes. Some even say that they've made contact with it. There's a 30 centimeter diameter hole in its abdomen. Armed employees later reported that the hole was empty. Santa, a mysterious and transparent organic entity on top of Rudolph. We didn't notice this. It is full of what seems to be human organs, all which function normally. Oh, that's the jar behind him. I thought it was the flayed off skin of that creature. The sleigh. The size is similar to that of a child's. The plating looks like organic skin, and there are white runners attached to the bottom. The accessories of the sleigh are replaced with stiff, severed hands. Unknown objects are carefully wrapped in gifts. Many employees tried to open these gifts but failed. Rumor has it they can only be opened on Christmas Day. Oh, we should totally play this game on Christmas Day and see if anything happens, and send someone in here to see if there's something time related here. I don't know if you guys ever played it, but there's actually several games which have some special stuff which occur on certain days. Dungeon Keeper, for example, on Halloween, I think, and on days when the moon is full, there are special maps that you get to play in the game on those days, and only those days. Anyway, these 3 elements are crudely sewn together. Dr. Redacted suggested that all 3 parts may be made from a single body. Whoever made this thing must have had a great hatred for Christmas. Well, that or they've never seen Santa Claus. Yeah, this seems like this was probably some experiment and someone hated the idea of Christmas. That's a shame. I'm Catholic. I love Christmas. Christmas is a great holiday. Halloween's better. Don't tell anyone I said that. But, I don't know. It's interesting. I'm guessing that we're probably going to see several abnormalities that are holiday themed, and or I'm guessing probably fairy tale themed, now that I'm seeing this guy. It would surprise me, for example, if we see like the Wizard of Oz in this at some point, or Alice, with the idea that those fairy tales are based on horrible abnormalities in this world that we're seeing. And to be fair, I'd rather that happen than for any of the actual, like, Russian or Eastern Europe fairy tale creatures being real, because some of those stories are effed up. A little bit of lore, then Tim lore, then we're leaving. My mom had a few books about other countries' fairy tales, and I remember reading about them when I was a kid. She had a book of gnomes that was really interesting and very well detailed about their lives, and some of the other books were, man, some of the stories were really creepy, and the pictures of like the demons or the fairies, they weren't pleasant. Well, do I remember any of them? I remember the pictures being weird. I seem to remember one with, like, one guy had the trick, like, this troll. He, like, challenged it to, like, an eating contest, and he had, like, a water flask, and he would, or something like that, he would, like, put some, like, slip some food into, like, the flask or bag by his gut, and then he was able to, like, out-eat it because it was distracted when it was eating, and he would sneak food into the bag instead. And the troll, like, asked him, like, how he managed to beat him. And he was like, oh, I just make a cut in my stomach to make more room in my gut. And he would do it and let the food fall out. And then say, see, now I can eat more. And then the troll did it, and the troll killed himself when he did it. And it was filled with stories like this. Oh, God! It was horrible. Oh... But the good guys, I think the good guys mostly won. They mostly out-tricked what they were up against. But man, the pictures to this day are kind of creepy. Alright, I'm babbling a lot. Oh, we're not quite done. We want to read it. We want to read the armor, EGO information. So let's see, where is that? That's over here. Alright, so here we go. Details. If an employee who's truly prepared for death uses this, any attack can be deflected. However, finding someone who does not fear death will be challenging in a place like this. And we need justice. Sorry, temperance 2. Temperance 2? Really? Not justice to use it. Interesting. It's justice for the weapon. Alright, well, anyway, everyone, that does it for us. Thank you guys for watching. Oh, but there are 2 mods I would like to install, so I'm going to ask you really quick what you think. One of the mods makes it so that the percentages of the work will be displayed. So instead of common or very low, I will see a number there telling me what the chances are of a successful, of a PE box being green when one tick of work is attempted. I think it would be more helpful to see that, since we've learned that the virtue levels are not accurate when we send people to work with the abnormalities. It's based on a range of numbers falling within a certain scale instead. And there's a mod which also, for the EGO items, apparently there's quite a few deep side effects which are never listed here. And it doesn't, all it does, the mod, I think, is list them. It shows you what they do, rather than you not knowing what they do. I'd like to install that too, so, but I won't do either of them until I hear from you guys, so let me know. And that's it for this one. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care, everyone.